Week 3 of the New England Patriots OTA practices are officially underway, and with that being said, we're just a week away from mandatory minicamp, and that's when things will get a little bit more exciting because the media will be able and allowed to record 7-on-7s, 11-on-7s. But in this video, we're going to break down everything that happened in today's practice for OTAs. Now, before we jump into the video, I do want to give a big shout out to, the New England Patriots media team, man. There's going to be some names at the top left of your screen throughout the entirety of this video. Do me a favor and go follow them on Twitter, man. This video would not be possible without them, working hard, getting these highlights out to the public, and kind of enabling us to make this video. So go give them a follow on Twitter for more instant live, news and notes and highlights from around practice. But with that being said, let's dive into, some of the news and notes from today. Now, we got to see a lot more of the quarterbacks. Joe Milton was back at it today. Obviously, Drake May and Jacoby Brissett back at practice today, getting work in. Bailey Zappi, got to see a lot of the wide receivers, red zone, 7-on-7s, just a lot of team drills, 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s. Sadly, you won't be able to see those highlights in this video, but we have everything you need to know. Now, Drake May actually took reps ahead of Bailey Zappi during their red zone period. I think they're really trying to integrate him with the second team behind Jacoby Brissett and see how he does with some of the backup wide receivers. And so far, so good, man. Drake May repped in red zone 11-on-11s, had a screen, he had a scramble, did have an incompletion to LaMichael Petaway. Brissett struggled as well, but this is kind of what the defense has been doing here in New England for a very long time. Just very sticky type of coverage, but also do a very good job at, getting to the quarterback, creating pressure, and never letting or allowing them to be healthy, right? Another guy who looked really good today was Jalen Polk. Just looked very, very good. Very good route runner in terms of just getting in and out of his routes, in and out of his breaks. He looked really good today. Take it with a grain of salt just because no pads, no contact. But he was the guy that stood out to me. Again, like I said, Jacoby Brissett started off the majority of team period as the starter, with Drake May being slightly behind him. And then in terms of 11-on-11 red zone period, it was basically a lot of tight window throws favoring the defense, right? The defense, like I said before, did a very good job. And you can tell this secondary with guys like Gonzo, Jabril Peppers, Kyle Duggar, Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones. These guys are really, really good. Even Marte Mapu getting in there. Jalen Hawkins making an impression. Alex Austin had a couple of pass breakups. Like, everyone alongside this defense is making big time plays, and Keon White is a guy we heard from maybe a little bit earlier this offseason. He's a guy that they have on their radar in terms of a major jump this season. Could be a day one starter alongside Matthew Judon on the outside edge rusher, right? And then Devon Godshaw, Christian Barmore. This defense looks insane, and I think what they've done so far is only proving that further, especially today in practice, man. A couple of great plays. Again, the QB order was Brissett 1, May had a couple of reps, Zappi had a couple of reps. Joe Milton didn't really get too many reps in terms of the 11-on-11 red zone period, which I don't really love. I want to see Milton get some more opportunity because I do think he could be really good. And then when it came down to it, Brissett struggled, man. 1 of 5 in red zone period. Drake May was just 1 of 2. He had a sack where he got sacked, and then maybe a scramble if he would have broke the sack. Maybe got some scramble yards. Bailey Zappi was 1 for 2 as well. Brissett and Zappi each hit running backs in the flat for a touchdown. And then May's only completion was a running back screen as well. So obviously in the red zone, they're still really, really struggling to convert down there, right? And you talk about guys like the Jalen Polks of the world, the Javon Bakers, and Kendrick Bourne, right? KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thorne, Juju. These guys are going to have to really step up and get open because they could not garner any separation during today's red zone period. Going back to 7-on-7s, Alex Austin kicked things off with a PBU versus Tyquan Thorne, and then Brissett came down with a low throw and completion to Hunter Henry for a touchdown. Again, those weren't really high red zone, kind of low red zone reps there. But overall, dude, the defense just the defense looked amazing. Now, before we get any further into this video, guys, before we break down the end of practice, make sure you guys do me a favor, hit the like button just so we can get this video out to, more Patriots fans around the world, but also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Patriots throughout the entirety of the offseason. Now, you might be asking, well, what does that include? Well, basically, the rest of OTAs, mandatory minicamp next week, training camp, preseason, and regular season as well. And get this, once the season does kick off, we're going to be going through some all-22 coaches film, breaking down plays almost every single week for the Patriots, looking at Drake May, looking at Jacoby Brissett, some of those rookie wide receivers, going to be breaking it down all year long. So make sure you guys join the family if you haven't already done so. And then again, Drake May started to heat up in 7-on-7s outside of 11-on-11s. He had a touchdown pass to Juju. He had a touchdown pass to Pop Douglas. And both the balls were really, really on the money for Drake May. So that was something we saw towards the end of practice. Antonio Gibson is being hyper-targeted a ton out of the backfield as the number 2 running back. And expect him to be in that role where he's just going to get a lot of targets. Especially if Drake May's your quarterback, he's going to be kind of a safety net for the quarterback position. And again, Demario Douglas is someone who really came off the scene last year, but is continuing to do what he did last year, right? Step up, make some big time plays. Had along the back line of the end zone for a touchdown catch. That was really fun. That one was from Drake May. I believe Drake May went through a couple of different progressions, ended up finding Pop Douglas in the back of the end zone for a nice little touchdown. Like we said, Juju had one, Hunter Henry had one. In the celebration, it seems like it's a different aura here in New England. Everyone is celebrating. If someone makes a big time catch, you're seeing guys really, really celebrate. So that is good. What else do we see? Brissett threw a nice little throw to Pop Douglas before he came out of his break. He was literally throwing with some anticipation there, so love that. Well, what else happened? Well, KJ Osborne caught a pass from Jacoby Brissett in the corner of the end zone on a scramble drill. Looked like he most likely would have got sacked, but was a touchdown for today's purposes. Kyle Duggar had some really big plays in the secondary, had some deflections, had some really good, stickiness to his coverage, especially when he was on Hunter Henry on one specific one. But yeah, overall, great practice. I thought the Patriots looked good today. Defensively, offensively, still have a lot of work to do, especially in the red zone area. Pop Douglas dominated. Juju had some good catches. Michael Hasty also had some pretty good catches out the backfield. Expect these running backs to get a lot of catches this season once again, just for, the safety net type of catches. So let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel, it's free, doesn't cost anything. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next New England Patriots update. Peace.